Mars Girl.
And I'm Josh Knight the First.
And welcome to episode 45 of Moko Replay, the only podcast dedicated solely to all things City Hunter.
On today's podcast, we're going to cover episode 45 of City Hunter, titled Three Sisters Are Calling, Ryo's Skiing Heaven.
This episode is like every skiing movie from the 80s and 90s you've ever seen. And like skiing movies did they just kind of disappear? I feel like they just kind of disappeared.
Like, I know this was much later than what this was, because I think a while back you had reviewed one with Allison. I think it was Ski Patrol was the one you guys did?
Snowboard Academy. Wow, you were way off.
Well, I know that's another one from that era. But I remember specifically when I was a kid in the early 90s, there was one that was always being advertised on the pay-per-view preview channel called Aspen Extreme. And it was like, even for a kid, I was like, this is really horny looking.
No, Aspen Extreme was, I think, the first movie we were considering talking about.
Really?
So we put Aspen Extreme on that particular night, and then we were like, oh, this is really kind of boring, actually. There's nothing extreme about this. Yeah, then we switched to this and it was way funnier. We were way more entertained. I say all that to say, yeah, like, 80s going into the 90s, for whatever reason, was really horny for skiing and snowboarding.
Like, there was so much of it permeating the movies and the culture. There were sometimes TV shows that would make sure to have skiing episodes. And it's like, what was the big deal? It's not like we never had skiing before.
And, you know, skiing also has not disappeared since or anything, so, like, where did skiing movies go?
I mean, it might disappear now thanks to global warming.
Yeah, but these mountains, like, make their own snow these days?
They do?
Yeah. They got, like, snow machines, and then they spit it out down the side of a mountain, and... yeah, they do that.
Never mind, they should be good then.
You would think, but apparently... No? I can't remember the last time I saw skiing in a movie. Anyway, there's skiing in this episode of City Hunter. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of snow.
There's a lot of snow. There's only so much skiing, actually.
But there's lots of those nice 80s windbreakers. You know, just the super thin, really uncomfortable fabric jackets that just have splotches of color. Like, just big old just color all over it.
What is it? Is it in Dumb and Dumber at one point Harry or Lloyd is wearing one of those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind we're talking about here.
I mean, like, those were just the things my parents were putting me in elementary school.
Elementary school in Texas wearing that?
Yeah, when it got cold, which it does, it freezes in Texas, don't forget. And now I know, like, we've had those big snows since we left.
Right.
The big ones that took out, like, all of Texas's power. We were not privy to those. But let's be really fair here. Texas has always frozen over in January to February.
Yes.
Like, they're always like, oh, make sure you wrap your pipes or you leave your water running or else your pipes might burst. And you're like, oh my God, why? This is Texas. But no, Texas be like that, actually.
Well, yeah, because people forget that the entire state, or really the southern part of the state, like Austin South, right, is not prepared for the kind of temperatures that people in the north take for granted.
Right.
Like, you have constant exposure, so you have infrastructure built for that. You buy snow tires, and you're ready for that sort of thing. If the road ice is over there, yeah, if it hits like 32 degrees, the city would shut down.
Yeah.
Multiple times I remember that.
Absolutely. Snow tires are a thing that come up in this episode, too.
Yeah, that's a funny thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it. So, we start off, oddly enough, the beginning of the episode, where we usually end the episodes, at the airport. So Ryo is speaking with a businessman who's heading off to Hong Kong, and he's putting him in charge of his three daughters, from eldest to youngest, Yoshiko, Miho, and Minako. So he's going to be watching over them for 4 days off in their private villa cottage resort up in the snowy mountains.
Where you just think, oh, it's Denver. Like, it just looks like
to me,
Denver,
it just looks
Colorado.
like Denver. Like, if I didn't know any better, like, I know this is animated, so they can be wherever the hell they want, but if this was filming live action, isn't it funny how the mountains of Japan look nothing like Denver?
Although, if I'm to be honest with you, I'm only just now thinking of this. This guy convinced Ryo to leave Shinjuku. He left Shinjuku.
Well, yeah, because this guy, Ryo's saying as he's trying to thank him, but also low-key tell him how horny he is for the chance to be with three women, he's saying that he's taking on this job for about a year's worth of pay. So apparently this business guy, who I don't think we ever really caught his name, he's only ever referred to later on as dad to these daughters, is paying him an exorbitant amount of money to look after his daughters.
And as far as we know, that check cleared, so good payday after this whole episode wraps up.
Well, because think about it. Not only is he paying for Ryo to do bodyguard work, which is something he does anyway, he also gets a weekend away at a ski resort.
With a bunch of women.
Yeah, it's like a timeshare without the upsell. Why would he turn that down?
Yeah, I understand.
So after we see the dad take off on Sunrise Air, because for some reason they put this at the beginning of the episode.
They run out of time at the end of the episode. We're gonna get to that, but like they're just out of time. There's no time to put anybody on a plane.
Yeah, we have no time this week. No time. We gotta go.
Gotta go. Put them on this plane right now. Gotta go fast. Go.
And so we go ahead and shift the story over to the cottage where the three girls are already there. And we see that Miho and Minako, the middle and younger daughters, are kind of boy hungry. They want to go out and get dates. And there's some boys that they're trying to holler at, or they're trying to holler at them.
And the older sister's just like, no, these men are junk. They're all trash. Forget the men. Yeah,
I mean, she's not wrong. Yeah, Yoshiko, the eldest sister, she's got a little bit of sense on her.
I'm just gonna sit here and read magazines all weekend, which to me sounds like a really boring snow trip, but okay.
And they're there trying to argue with Yoshiko. Come on, invite some of your office boys over. Do that. And she's like, no, those men are trash. Like, is it that all the men you know are trash? It must be the people that work at your father's company. And I would ask, what does that say about your father's company?
Well, that's the impression that I am given throughout the course of the episode by the way she responds to other things. She's just like, oh, all these dudes that I always interact with all just want to interact with me because of my dad. So yes, I'm going to assume that it is absolutely because of her father's company and the dudes that work at her father's company.
Yeah, they're just trying to move their careers forward.
Right.
And so they get a call and one of the girls answers to see, oh, is it the boys? No, it's your dad. And the dad's saying, well, I'm not going to focus too hard about the fact that you thought you were answering some boy. I just wanted you all to know that I've sent somebody from the office to keep an eye on you.
And that person is Ryo, even though he's not really from the office, so the dad kinda sorta lied.
But he is somebody who is being paid by their dad, so he's only sort of lying.
Right.
So Ryo shows up with snow tires on the Mini. First off, I don't think I would trust the Mini in temperatures that cold.
I would never drive a Mini Cooper up into the snowy mountains like that. Even if you put snow tires on them, like, what are you doing? Why did you rent a car? I was about to say,
yeah, like, borrow the Jeep from Umibozu, man. It's not that big of a deal. So Ryo pulls up to this cottage villa, and he comes out dressed like friggin' Clark Kent. You know, he's got this nice suit on and the Makimura glasses. And he's out there wistfully thinking to himself, oh, I'm going to have so much fun this weekend. 3 women, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
So Ryo goes ahead and introduces himself to the girls, saying that, yes, he is from the office, and telling them, look, just be completely normal while I'm here. Just act like I'm not even around. Do whatever you're gonna do. Walk around in your 90s or nothing at all. Just pretend I'm not even here.
Negligees. I like that was the choice of words
that
the subtitles went with, was negligees.
Yeah, he wants to have a little fun. He wants to see a show. And they're just like, what did you say? And it's like, oh, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
But really what they're more concerned with is that, oh, we're not worried about you peeping on us so much as, oh, Dad sent another person to watch after us again.
Yeah, like, we're not children.
And we are very upset about that fact, and this is the worst trip ever. Why did we even come here?
And they're like really dogging Ryo, like telling him, you know, you didn't have to take this job to just rat on Dad's daughters for him, you jerk. And Ryo's,
I mean, I would be on their side, quite frankly. I agree with them.
And I do appreciate it, because this seems to be the byline through the episode for Ryo, is how honest he is. And he just tells them up front, look, I was not going to pass up the chance for 3 women to be alone with me in a cottage all weekend. That just wouldn't make sense. He's there pounding on the table all hard, and they go shocked back over the couch like, damn, man, calm down.
And even then, it's still not the part that really bothers them, because he starts listing off all these rules that they've got to follow.
Yeah, he's like, okay, your dad told me, yes, I do have to watch out for you, and he left some rules here. So first, I need you guys to tell me where your locations are. If you're going to go somewhere, I need to be the first to know. And then secondly, we're going to have you guys have a curfew. You have to be indoors by 6. Nobody's out at night.
6 is ridiculous.
Yeah,
6 is crazy. Although, I guess in the mountains it'll get dark fast, I
Well,
guess?
it gets dark early anyway in Tokyo,
Well,
just in
yes,
that side of the world.
But that's not Tokyo.
And then the third rule, I'm going to have to monitor all of your conversations. If any men come up, I need to be aware of that.
And I just thought this was really funny. So in Japanese, as he's listing these 3 things, all 3 of them he says hitotsu, hitotsu, hitotsu. So he's just counting 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, because usually in Japanese, if you're like doing a quick list of 3, you would sometimes hear in Japanese hitotsu, hutatsu, mitsu.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You're counting 1, 2, 3, usually. Like, that's usual for us. It's also usual for them. But in this instance, he has said number 1, and number 1, meaning all 3 are equally as important to one another. They are all number 1. That's how important all 3 of those things on the list are.
So it's a language thing that if you catch on, he's really emphasizing you have to follow these rules.
Yes.
And so Ryo decides to go ahead and let the girls go, walk around the house, and he's getting a lay of the land, figuring out, okay, this one's in this room, this one's in that room. I'm gonna go look out the window here. Hey, what do I see off in the distance there? It's 2 dudes.
Oh, that's not good. And they're not just there just to be like, the ladies, although those guys are coming. No, these guys are like the ladies that we can kidnap for reasons.
Yes.
We have reasons, and they're coming.
Yeah, so we're just gonna call these guys Kidnapper 1 and Kidnapper 2.
Okay, well, what about Kidnappers 3 and 4?
So those aren't kidnappers, but we're getting there.
I know.
So while Ryo's doing his rounds, the girls are having to talk amongst themselves like, hey, Yoshiko, you're the eldest one here. Like, straight up, real talk. Can you take one for the team? Like, please, we have lives. We'd like to continue them.
You were never gonna leave this house the whole weekend anyway, so you stay here, you keep him busy, and we're just gonna go off and have some fun.
And again, she reiterates, no, I've seen his type before at the office. I hate his type. I'm not going to do that. And they're just like, okay, great, thanks, we're going out, bye. So they head out to the garage where I think it's a Jeep of some kind that they have out there, like a 4-wheel drive Jeep in the garage. But Ryo's already beaten them to the punch and he's just sitting on the hood.
He's just in the garage. I hope it's because there is another door into the garage and not that you have to lift the door up and then he had to pull the door back down closed in front of him, and then he was just sitting there waiting, like, one of them's gonna come down here. They're gonna come down here and they're gonna try and take this Jeep, so I have to be sitting on it and I have to be ready for them to try to leave.
Like, quite honestly, I wouldn't put it past him that that's what he did if there wasn't a second door or a second entrance to the garage.
Because I know when I was growing up, that's how that worked. Like, that garage, there's a door that went from the garage into the kitchen of the house, and then you could get in the house that way.
My uncle had a house like that when I was a kid, too.
Yeah.
So yeah, either way, he knew the logical choice was they're going to have to come for this vehicle, and I need to lay the law down. No fun. So I think it's kind of weird, though. So he shows up there in the garage to tell them you can't take the car, and then they just kind of gave up. And Ryo's like, well, my work is done for the day. I'm gonna go take a bath.
And he gets drunk in the bath and he starts making up a song about the cute ladies he's with. Now, thankfully, in his song, he's dismissed both of the younger ones. And the youngest one, I don't even know if she's an adult or not. She looks pretty young, but he even casually throws out, oh, she's just a kid. And then says, oh, the other one hates me or whatever. But the third one, the one that he's really interested in,
the eldest one,
is the one that is plainly an adult woman. Very much an adult woman. Thank Christ.
Well, yeah, he's Goldilocksing it. Like, this one's too young, this one's too mean, this one is just right. So after he gets out of the bath, they're all just there kind of like chilling in the main living room, and Ryo has changed back from his Clark Kent outfit back into his normal City Hunter clothes.
But he's wearing glasses.
But he's kept the glasses, because I guess that's still the disguise for him.
This shows I'm a businessman if I keep wearing glasses.
And the girls have gone off to bed, so it's just Ryo and Yoshiko. And so now he's gonna try and spit game at her when she's like, hey, we need to talk. And he's like, I'd love to talk.
And she's like, I know exactly why you're doing this. And he's like, great, then we can just skip straight to business. She's like, no. This is where she's finally saying, you're only doing this to move up in the company because you just want my affections so that you'll get my dad's attention. And he's like, what are you talking about? I literally just want to bang you. That's all I want to do. What are you talking about?
To her credit, that's probably all her experience has been with guys up to this point, is that, oh, I'm just here to act like I like like you, but really, I'm just trying to climb the corporate ladder. And Ryo's not trying to do that at all. He just wants to get in them draws.
Yeah, like, it's a totally different dickish move that these other people have been doing to this poor woman. And Ryo just wants to bang and isn't thinking about anything else. And she's really confused by this, which I'm confused about because she's a very nice looking woman. And given we live in a society...
Oh, God.
I would be shocked to think that she would not be approached by dudes who just want to bang her. That would shock me. Just living as a woman in this world, that would just shock me if she has never experienced that before in her life.
Well, because Ryo's there trying to explain to her as plainly as he can, no, I need you to know what kind of evening I thought we were going to have today. I'm not trying to use you as a tool for advancement. She's like, but there's no other explanation. And he's like, okay, maybe I have to like really spell it out for you. So then he gets a little grabby.
He's pretty handsy with her. It's kind of uncomfortable to look at, if I'm to be honest. Big ol' kissy faces, grabbing her by the waist. He totally picks her up and like spins her around.
He's like pulling at the top of her shirt.
Trying to look down her blouse. It's kind of bad.
And it's like, you wish someone would come and stop it. If only a hero of great renown could just come in through the window right now and hit him with a 100-ton hammer.
Oh, who's that coming in through the window with the 100-ton hammer?
It's Cowdy.
It's Kaori.
Cowdy shows up and she knocks the crap out of Ryo. Good timing.
Thank Christ.
But also, how did she get up there? Because Ryo came up alone.
Josh, they both have cars.
Yeah, but like, did he wrap like Cowdy's car with snow tires? Because I'm pretty sure Cowdy doesn't often leave Shinjuku for the mountains.
So you think Kaori's an idiot and would not have put snow tires or snow chains on her tires?
I mean, like
you
best...
are making some weird assumptions that she is incapable of driving herself anywhere. This is really strange.
I just think it's weird that there was the delay there, that they didn't just both go up at the same time. Like,
that is in no way strange. Have you seen in the last several episodes alone, Ryo has just booked it out of Kaori's sight to go be with one woman, and now he's been paid a bajillion yen to go hang out with 3 women alone? No, he was not gonna tell Kaori. Kaori's back home in Shinjuku like, that son of a bitch. I'm going up there after him. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what she would do.
When you phrase it that way, now I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, okay, that's how that went down. That's absolutely how that went down. Ryo booked it, and she had to figure out, okay, where'd he go? All right, let me call Umibozu. Hey, can I get some snow tires? Great. And then just hightailed it up there as fast as she could and showed up in the nick of time because her anti-Mokori sense went off like, and then just the hammer forms in her hand like, we need justice.
Or she flew up there like Thor with her hammer.
Like, I wouldn't put it past her that she could do that with her hammers. I really wouldn't.
Just full.
And whoosh.
Throw this thing and fly up the mountain, and that's how she got there.
Because, like, no, this happens on the first floor, right? No. Like, they're there in the living room.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's lucky that Ryo was by the window, and Ryo could clearly be seen by Cowdy, and he's like, haha, there he is, got him. So now that Cowdy is here, and she's laid down the law, now it's finally time to tell the girls the truth about what's really going on.
Which, I mean, he was halfway telling the truth, but Kaori had to fill in the rest of it. Like, yeah, so, your father's made a lot of enemies, and there's people trying to get at you just to stop him from doing a merger in China right now.
Yeah, so specifically, the flight he just left on to Hong Kong is to complete this merger of part of their company that their family owns, and somebody out there who's never really named, just, I guess, some rival company, doesn't want that to happen, so they want to kidnap one of you 3, or all of you 3, as bargaining chips to make that not happen.
And so they kind of start to understand a little bit better, like, oh, I mean, I guess.
And they're like, why didn't you tell us sooner? And Ryo's basically like, well, you guys are on a need-to-know basis, and you didn't need to know.
I didn't want to worry you. Whatever, man. Cool your jets.
So how long do we have to put up with this? Well, the merger's the day after tomorrow, so like 2 more days. And the girls are like, all right, fine. And so these guys out there on the mountain, they're like, we better hurry up and do something, because they know what time the merger's going to happen, so they got to move tonight.
Uh-huh.
Now, the funny part about that is there are the 2 dudes in brown, Kidnapper 1 and Kidnapper 2, who try to go in through the front door, picking the lock, but then we got 2 other dudes in, like, snowboarding clothing.
And they're just like, we heard there were chicks up here. later.
Well, no, they know the girls are up there.
Right.
No,
That's
like
what
they
I'm
know them.
I know.
Like earlier in the episode I skipped over, the girls call them like, hey, we can't come out and play right now. We'll call you later, bye.
I know.
But we didn't say that.
Okay.
So these guys think they're being all gallant, and they decide, well, we see Miho's window is open, let's use the grappling hook.
These guys came way more prepared than the kidnappers did.
Because all the kidnappers seem to have brought was just like the lockpicking set, and that's it.
Yeah.
But these guys, no, they went to the hunting supply store and got rope and a grappling hook.
I mean, none of these dudes were successful in anything they did, but...
Well, yeah, because the two horny dudes, the would-be boyfriends, I guess, climb up the rope, and Ryo's there waiting for him, gun drawn, like, hi, how's it going? And so, yeah, naturally, they fall off the window, and then they run away scared, and the guys trying to break in the front overhear them, and they're like, oh, crap, let's book it.
They all just run away. They just run.
So nobody got anything they wanted that night. The kidnappers didn't break in to kidnap anybody, the two horny guys didn't get what they want, and Cowdy's here, so Ryo's not getting what he wants. Yeah, he's not getting anything tonight. So the next morning, everybody decides to go skiing, and we need some skiing music. What's some good skiing music?
I got the perfect thing.
So, over the loudspeakers here at the resort, they're playing Go-Go Heaven again, which I have wondered, because remember, again, the show admits that this song exists in the universe. We're not just hearing it as the audience, the characters are hearing this song.
Right, we've seen it multiple times played at multiple business establishments, and then the TV news station is like, this is his theme song.
Like, I half wonder, like, Ryo's like, hey, DJ here at the mountain resort, here's 5,000 yen, play my song.
He slipped him $50?
I mean, Ryo's gonna be able to make that back after this job
Are
is done.
you sure he didn't just go to a jukebox and he's like, ah, sweet, my theme song's on the jukebox, and
I mean, maybe.
puts 100 yen in?
Oh god, what if he did like that John Mulaney joke and he just put in like 5,000 yen's worth of coin into this jukebox and picked nothing but Go-Go Heaven?
That'd be awful. What a mean thing to do.
And won What's New Pussycat. So I've been waiting for us to get to this point because I want to talk about the subplot here in the episode, which is the ill-fated dating cycle between Cowdy and Minako.
And Minako's the youngest one.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether she was serious or they were just kind of dicking with Kaori. I really was not sure.
Because the whole episode, it kind of rides that line of whether or not she's serious.
Uh-huh.
And see, the thing about this too is that this isn't one of those episodes where Minako may potentially be mistaking Cowdy for a dude. That's not happening here. Like, she's like, no, you're Cowdy, a woman. Let's go on a date right now. Everybody else is already paired off.
Do you think it was just that she was so hard up for a date at all that she was like, I'll take Kaori, I guess?
I mean, you say that like Cowdy's a bad choice.
Well, she's not. I'm just saying, like, these girls were really boy crazy, and then they took what they assumed to be, well, you look boyish enough, I guess.
No, but that's not how they play it.
No, it's not how they play it. We just don't have enough information to go on. Like, I'm just like, why did this happen? Like, it's kind of cute, it's kind of funny, but I don't know why it happened.
I just think it's really interesting, yeah, that they decided to do this and then they ran with it for most of the episode. So yeah, everybody's paired off. The two dudes have gone off with Miho. Minako has paired herself off with Kaori, and Ryo again is going after Yoshiko. And they're basically doing the slalom together going down the mountain, and she's like, oh, you're actually a really good skier, Ryo. What do you call this move?
The Mokori Glide, because that's a wonderful name. I'm so glad that we get multiple times throughout this series that other people don't actually know what the word Mokori means, because it's a sound effect, and I'm just gonna assume that it was totally made up for the sake of the comic, alright? Like, just random ass sound effect, not a real word, which I'm sure has entered Japanese lexicon by now.
Oh, it has to have.
But in universe, these people do not know what that means. Every time he brings it up, he's just like, haha, I've got this word that I know what it means, but nobody else does, so I can be weird and fucking gross whenever I want, and nobody will ever know.
No one will ever know. I've done that like 3 weeks in a row now. I gotta stop. No, but like, how does that work in world? Like, Like, did Ryo himself have to be like, I need to come up with a word for when I feel horny? I know, I'll give my boners a sound effect.
Because, I mean, in the comic, it just is the sound effect of the actual boner actually occurring. And
you see it there in the panels.
You see many boners, and you see the sound effect next to a penis. Like, there's no other way to say that. So, the real answer is that Sunrise was like, yeah, we can't draw that, so we just have to turn the sound effect into his catchphrase. That's the closest thing we can do. But yes, if that is the case for the anime, why did he decide to start just saying the sound effect for his boners out loud?
It's kind of like that Mean Girls thing, quit trying to make Mokori happen, it's not going to happen.
Well, it happened.
Yeah, actually it did.
It happened, but then we had to go and turn it into Nookie,
Well, we didn't do it, ADV did it.
Thanks, ADV.
So after they're done skiing a bit, Yoshiko and Ryo are kind of just like sitting down over coffee, and she's kind of giving him credit like, you know what, I do appreciate that you're an honest person. Like, the whole time you were trying to tell me what you really wanted, and I was over here thinking you had ulterior motives, and you know what, that's refreshing to me.
I mean, it was an ulterior motive. He was just honest about what his ulterior motive was.
In that regard, I get it, in that I imagine some of the other guys she's dealt with wouldn't mind getting it on with her, but they're using it as a tactic.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just also saying his ulterior motive is to be with women. He's just not lying about it.
Yeah, but right now we're just playing that off as admirable.
Sure, totally admirable.
And mind you, while they're having this conversation, the audio goes up a little bit still to remind you Go-Go Heaven is still playing. Now, like we said, that's already playing in universe, so now after everybody's done skiing, we go back to the cottage, and we see that everybody's chilling in the living room again, and they've got the stereo on, and we hear what we refer to as the Mokori song, the bow wow wow.
It's what you would assume would lead into porn music.
Right. But instead of it just being the soundtrack, one of the girls turns it down.
On this boombox. Like, oh, no, you're actually listening to this song in universe. So this song actually exists in your world as well. And you guys were just willingly listening to it and weren't weirded out by, what is this really horny music playing right now?
Like, it's entirely possible, like, Ryo had it on a tape and brought it with him. Like, not only do I bring extra copies of Go-Go Heaven on vinyl and cassette, I also have this cassette ready of the Mokori song. So they're there at the cottage. Kaori's just chowing down on food because I guess she spent a lot of energy there skiing. So Minako again starts talking to Kaori like, hey, us? Maybe? Yeah? And she's getting real close to her. And Kaori starts like choking on her food. And so here, yeah, she's imagining the wedding dress and Kaori in a tux. And Kaori's there panicking, like, oh god, I'm choking, I need water, here, is this liquid? I'll drink the liquid.
This is what I was saying about, it just felt like they were kind of dicking with Kaori, and I wasn't really sure why. Like, she's trying to drink water, and instead they've given her vodka and tequila. I don't understand why they're doing this to her.
Vodka and tequila, you're trying to get messed up for the evening. That's like, you don't give a damn about what you're doing tonight, you just don't want to remember.
And they're like, oh, well, you took it like a champ, but we don't actually see what it does to Kaori.
Well, like, she gets all red immediately,
sure,
but
then we cut away from her immediately, too, so we don't see her actually, like, drunk.
Yeah, and that's weird that that's the thing, because usually the show doesn't shy away from any character being drunk, even if it's for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So then again, we get another little scene with Ryo and Yoshiko. There's a lot of these little scenes between them, and they're kind of just repeating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Just again of like, oh, you're such an honest person. And Ryo's like, oh, I'm just here to seize the moment. You know, I want to be with many women. Just kidding.
Even though he's not just kidding, he really means that.
Like, it seems that Yoshiko's not very good at detecting intention or subtext because she seems to be reestablishing every couple of minutes. So you really do just want to bone me, huh?
Well, now she's starting to be into it because it's so refreshingly different from these other dudes.
So now it's night again, and the two kidnappers have been waiting all day for a chance to try again because they were there at the ski resort and they're like, damn, too many people. And so they wait again for night. I'm like, what are you guys doing all day?
They're just sitting there looking through binoculars or some shit. I don't know.
Like, bring a sandwich, bring a magazine. Like, you guys are boring.
Oh man, you missed the part where early in the episode, the older sister was reading Tyne magazine.
Oh yeah, that that was earlier there. Tyne magazine, not Time.
Tine, Tyne magazine.
The one time they actually try to avoid copyright.
No, the one Tyne.
Oh, pardon me, the one Tyne. So this time, the kidnappers are successful in picking the door.
Because Rio's just like, he's out? Like, he managed to really sleep through this?
Well, yeah,
This
like
is
Rio
not
apparently
typical.
is passed out drunk in the living room on the couch.
This is not typical of him to allow something like this to happen.
Yeah, usually he's not slacking like this.
Oh, he's slacking. But, like, older sister just goes to get some milk out of the fridge.
Yeah, Yoshiko comes downstairs. She's at least nice enough to give Rio a blanket.
She gets this milk out of the fridge, and then the kidnappers are like, haha, surprise! Get her around the face and say, don't scream, and she just drops the milk, and then they're like, alright, we gotta get out of here on our
Snowmobile.
Snowmobile with like a tire being dragged behind it or whatever the hell it is.
Well, like a sled.
Yeah,
Like this
yeah.
little yellow plastic sled. For some reason, I'm thinking like A Christmas Story, but they didn't have like a yellow sled then.
No, but you know, that's the kind of fun that people have out on snow mountains. Like, you pull a sled behind your snowmobile. If you're doing it on the water, you've got like a jet ski and you're pulling a tire behind it. Like, it's that
A
kind
raft,
of
yeah. See, like that's the one thing I would go up to a snow-covered mountain to do is this kind of stuff. I would never try to ski, but I would totally do a snowmobile or a sled.
I would do a sled. I'd do a sled.
Okay, then I'll drive, you get dragged.
Oh, I don't want to be dragged by the snowmobile. I just want to slide downhill and then bail out when I think it's safe.
Oh, that too. Now, I guess Cowdy got over being drunk because she hears the snowmobile kickstart. She goes running to wake up Rio like, bro, do your job.
He's so out. He's like, huh? What's going on? Hey, it's the older sister. Oh, the older sister. Let me go upstairs and check. Like, he's just not paying attention. He's so out of it, and then he goes into the wrong room, busts into middle sister's room.
In Miho's room while she's changing.
She's down to only her underwear and has got her shirt, like, gripped up to her chest, trying to cover up.
I'm like, no!
And Kaori has to pull him back out the door, like, did you do it on purpose? No, I just got it mixed up. All right, let me go to the right room now. Yeah, no, she's not there, man. They already took her. She's gone. And he's like, what? Oh my god, no. And just runs out the window.
Yeah, he goes out the window.
Seemingly not even realizing it's a window and not a door, because that's just how tired he is. I know exactly how he feels right now.
Yeah, like I've had mornings like that where I'm like, what? What's going on? Oh, I gotta do so. Okay, all right, let's go. Wait, no? Okay, we'll go this way. Like, you're just so tired. Like, you got woken up straight out of REM sleep.
Yeah.
You didn't ease out. You're just like, hurry up, you missed the alarm. What? Okay, all right, everybody get in the car. Let's go. And so Rio doesn't jump into the Mini Cooper with snow tires. No, he grabs the Jeep out of the garage with snow tires.
Well, the Mini Cooper doesn't really have snow tires anyway. It just has snow chains.
Well, yeah.
So it's probably for the best that they took the Jeep out of the garage.
I bet you anything the reason he takes it is because the Mini Cooper was probably buried in snow by this point.
Oh yeah, the Mini Cooper's so short that I'm sure that it's just, there's been that much snowfall and it's like, oh, where did the Mini Cooper go?
And again, I don't know why he brought it up and didn't rent a car. That mountain air and that snow's gonna do hell on the paint. I thought he loved this Mini Cooper.
No, he just loves lots of Mini Coopers. He'll just get another one if he ruins this one.
That's true. So Rio gives chase in this turbo Jeep while Footsteps is playing, and I need you guys to know we've got like maybe a minute left in the episode at this point. Like, the episode is almost over.
We are out of time, so Rio's chasing them down the mountain, and he's about to cause some accidents. Like, he jumps off the Jeep and lands in front.
Well, yeah, he gets in front of the snowmobile, like, he causes the snowmobile to crash, and then shoots out the wire that's connecting the sled to the snowmobile. Yeah, he rolls out.
But then he doesn't even, like, shoot them to stop them, though. He instead just jumps as the snowmobile is approaching him.
Yeah, the sled, yeah.
Steps on the guy's head, who's got her kidnapped, and then grabs her and rolls off into the snow with her, and, like, it does it all slow-mo and, like, $60 million man style.
You could hear the one.
I mean, like, not literally, but yes, you could put that in there.
And so, first dude has crashed on the snowmobile. Second dude just goes careening over a cliff, hits face first into a bank of snow. And then here comes the two other sisters and Kaori down the mountain because they bothered to go get on their ski clothes and their skis.
I feel like that would have taken significantly more time than just taking literally the other car that is right there. Just go straight down. But okay, That's cool.
And it's morning already, like the sun is showing up now. And before we even get to the resolution, Get Wild has already started playing as they're coming down the mountain.
This is the resolution, baby. And it's the end of the episode, and they're just like, okay, a guy is stuck in the snow, and I guess that's good enough to prevent a kidnapping, and the merger of your father's company will totally go through. Let's all end in group laughter. Ha 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 ha. We gotta hurry this up, guys. Let's go.
Like,
everything is resolved, we promise.
Yeah, like Ryo and Yoshiko barely get like 2 sentences out, and then we're in credits.
Ba 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 ba.
And it's like, man, did you guys not realize how long the episode was running this week?
You really could have trimmed quite a bit of stuff in the middle. If you really needed to come up with a good ending, you could have done that. But they did not go that route.
Well, yeah, because, like, you feel it in this episode. Like, we're done. The episode's over, but you can really feel there in the middle when they're just middling about in the cottage. You could have, yeah, at least cut 2 minutes out of that to give us a better action sequence here at the end. But no, this is what we got. Like, we went right up to the credits.
I mean, the animation was real good, though.
Well, yeah, that's the funny part about this episode. Everything's drawn so well.
Yeah.
Like, specifically, I'm remembering when Cowdy comes in through the window to knock Ryo out.
She looks great. I don't know. Also, just amazing 80s windbreaker clothes.
Well, that's just the style.
Oh my god, these 80s windbreakers. I'm just remembering, yeah, first grade for me. That's how my parents sent me to school.
And I was remembering you told me to bring this up, that Cowdy's jacket on the back says City.
Oh, it just says City. Like, you barely see this jacket, the back of this jacket. So you can just barely make it out because the word is not written very well in this particular shot. But yeah, it just says City. That's it. I wish I could have had a better shot of that jacket. It was a really nice jacket. She just has great jackets.
Well, just in general, the show gives her a great sense of fashion.
Until sometimes she's wearing, like, some weird baggy crap. I'm like, why did you do that to her? She did not deserve this.
Yeah, she deserves better than this. Come on, guys. Consistency. So next week on City Hunter, we're going to be dealing with a female pickpocket, and we're going to see the return of both Umibozu and Sayako for the episode.
And Umibozu's head is going to be really small on his enormous body. Just so small looking.
It's comical, to say the least.
Comically tiny head on an enormous meaty body.
I do think it's funny that in the preview they mention that Sayako's gonna show up, but we don't see her in the preview.
Well, she's gonna be there. Just look forward to it. God, you don't want that spoiled for you.
Maybe I do. You don't know me. You don't know my life.
I do, actually, and I do know that you prefer spoilers, and you have no joy for things that could just come out and surprise you.
I mean, why you gotta put my business out there like that?
I mean, you would tell people the same thing.
Yeah, but that's me.
Well, come back next time when we cover the 46th episode of the TV series. Picking Pockets is a thrill. Pick pockets for tomorrow.
And if you want to catch us outside this podcast, you can always find us both over on Twitter. I'm at Josh Knight First.
And I'm at Mars Girl. Thank you all so much for listening to our 45th episode of Moko Replay. And if you don't come back next episode, I'm gonna keep Josh in a cage at night.
Oh, yeah, sure, me, but not the cats.
The cats didn't do anything wrong.
Neither did I.